Black Garius. Right. Let's do this, people. There's 3 ritual lieutenants, a couple of Luskan champions, and a half a dozen support people, and then the ritual people. 4 lieutenants. Yeah, this is gonna suck. I'm thinking what we really can do. Probably confusion. That's pretty much it. Maybe kill beast or something like that. We don't have that many tools.
You 4, ignore them. Keep concentrating. The rest of you, kill them.
You guys already murdered one of them. Fine. Want to disrupt this side if I can. I managed to disrupt the one arcane brother and the Alaskan champion, so they're pretty harmless for now. But still. It's one less brother. Kill him. He has physical defenses up already. I want to save my lesser spell breach for this. We pretty much got this. But one guy left.
Idiots, you're not focusing. What have you done to me?
Well, that was easier than I thought. What in the hells was going on here? What are we standing around for? We beat Garius and his wizards. Come on, let's search the body. Well done. We've earned our swords this day, I think. It would have been nice to crush Garius ourselves, but it's a little more satisfying for him to be undone by his own ritual. We need to report back to Neverwinter immediately and tell Lord Nasher what happened here. We should search for anything important the Brotherhood might have left behind first. Make it fast. Return to me when you're ready to go. Well, we got a journal out of this. So they want to loot things. Ooh, boots. Magical boots. Ghost recipe. Gargoyle boots. 2 dodge armor class, saving throw sports tubes, use stone skin, 5 charges per use. What boots do I have? Rage or tumbling? I like the gargoyle boots better.
Yes. I'm ready for you.
Fist of the Legion. +1 stun. These type of weapons would be nice. Yes, enchant them more to increase the enchantment level. They have a nice ability.
I'm overloaded.
Power shield +2. Gauntlets. Sword blade. Wand of Fear. Bracers of armor +1. And none of this is particularly useful. Keywords. Black tentacles. Wand of Paralyzation, a third one. Ring of Clear Thought +2. Not bad. Black Garius, what do you have? Silver Shark, Combat, and Lesser Ring of Power. Regeneration and resistance to cold, electrical, and fire.
Yes.
Chandra might be nice. I mean, regeneration for her too. Not quite as good as with Elgar, but it should keep her alive. The more important thing or aspect is that I don't have to have a cleric in the team. Damage bonus magical and attack. But no inventory space anymore. None. Black Bag of Worm Sage. I don't see a use for this. Other minor crap. Elgar had the journal. Brotherhood Journal. I'm at a loss as to why Garius insists on keeping these shadow priests around. I get the feeling that they are mocking us somehow, and yet they are unfailingly polite in their dealings with us. They've been tremendously helpful with preparing the ritual, and that worries me a great deal.
I'm ready to move. Time to
Yeah,
finish
it's
this.
definitely the same ritual they were testing. Why? What exactly do they want to do with this? Okay. Ready to go? Yes, let's go. Saban, get some men down here and haul these Luskan fields out of the keep. Should we bury them? Don't bother, just pile them up and burn them. And see if we can't get that glowing door upstairs open as well. Don't want to leave any surprises for the next tenant.
Forgive me, Master Aldenon. I'm afraid I do not understand.
Very well. Let us set aside the broader metaphor of the stone and narrow our attention to the fact that it has been cleft in two, which, while not a fact, is a smaller metaphor than the first. You see, at first glance, the two halves both appear as separate stones, but they were both once one stone, yet not. Do you follow?
Ah, welcome. I was just speaking with Master Aldenon concerning one of the prisoners you recovered from Garius. A woman, but not of Neverwinter or Luskan, or even perhaps this plane of existence. The prisoner has asked for you, personally. I was hoping you might be able to help us out concerning her identity, or her intentions. Aldenon has a theory, but I'm afraid...
If you both would simply listen! The comparison to a big rock, is a simple one, almost perfect. This prisoner you have, it seems that she is of the same stone as the Githyanki, but yet she is not. You see, both were once one people. At one time, even though time is a very difficult thing to measure depending on the plane, and that's not counting time in the astral plane or on...
Forgive me, Aldenon. Is this prisoner a threat or not?
Oh, I don't know that. I do know that the Gitzerai and the Githyanki have been in a state of war for millennia. It is common knowledge.
Of course, an oversight on my part.
So, I should think if your young lieutenant here, well met again by the way, you seem to be everywhere, is hunted by the Githyanki, then the Gitzerai and this Gitzerai prisoner would be allies by default. But I could be mistaken. I suppose we could see if she tries to kill any of us, but that test has numerous procedural flaws in its execution, if you will pardon the semantics. She seemed reasonable enough when we spoke together in Crossroad Keep, but there was a foot of stone between us, which is notoriously hard for a blade to cut through to kill someone on the other side. And speaking of Crossroad Keep, I am rather anxious to return there, so if you would both excuse me, I will set out there at once to see if we can dig anything out of the library there. Good day, and I hope the prisoner doesn't attempt to kill you. She didn't seem the type, but you know how assassins are.
Despite the advice of Master Aldenon, I think it would be best if you simply spoke to the prisoner and let this matter sort itself out, without further speculation.
I felt your presence before my eyes fell upon you, Kalakcha. Step forward. Let me look upon you.
They said you asked for me by name.
Your name. Your name is not how I know you. Know this name our enemies have draped upon you. This Kalakcha. Its sound travels far, even reaching the ears of my people. At first, my people thought our enemies had erred, that they did not know that of which they speak. But here, now, as you stand in my presence, I see the truth. I did not think it possible, but the key by which you may know yourself lies within you. I know much of the problems that beset your people and mine, the reason behind these attacks upon your heart and home. You will have no greater ally in this than I. In exchange for my aid, it is my will I be freed, so that I might travel with you and aid you against these enemies.
Why do you wish to travel with me?
This cell is abhorrent to me. It is a shackle of stone encasing me. It causes memories of the ways of the Illithids to surface in my mind. I have borne this indignity because I knew that it would bring you to me, and a greater truth will be known.
So, in exchange for what you know, you only asked to travel with me.
I heard you were here. You fought bravely, and we took them almost completely by surprise. You are to be commended, both for your efforts and the lives spared this day. Had you not been there, we would have many less brave men standing with us today, along with what may be the key to taking this battle to our enemies.
In freeing me, know you have gained more than you ever would have torn from the lips and thoughts of our enemies.
Then speak. Aldenon does not think you are allied with these enemies, these Githyanki, and his word carries weight with me, fortunately for you.
Then know the trade between us is this. Release me from this prison. Let my path become that of the Kalakcha. In return, I will grant you the knowing of this threat, and all the darkness its shadow casts.
We promise an honest hearing. And if your tale rings true, we will grant your freedom.
Then listen to me, and know this threat for what it is. But we cannot do it here, in this prison where my words echo and the shadows fall thick around us.
And why should we allow your freedom until we hear what you have to say?
Because if you deny me that, then anything I can do to aid you will prove useless. I seek to know this plane, this world that I am to help you save, and to speak honestly to it, so that it might hear what strikes at its heart. And that means that I must see your lands, what you would spill blood for, and what you have spilled blood for.
Then I know of just the place where you can see what we fight for. Make your way back to Crossroad Keep as soon as you're able. I shall meet you there.
Jave. Return to Crossroad Keep. Yes.
Yes?
Cleric, our first priest. Upper priest. Destruction, greater restoration, regenerate. Word of faith, holy shit. No saving throw. Instant, target area colossal. A wave of divine energy blasts all enemy creatures within the area of effect. All enemies within the area are stunned for 1 round per 2 caster levels. Those with 4 hit dice or less are killed instantly. Any hostile summoned creatures are returned to their home planes. This is good. Very nice. Does greater restoration to heal. Heals the target creature to full hit points. Yeah. Harm, heal, banishment, control undead. Blade barrier. Blade barrier is good, but I don't want to give it to a NPC because placing the spell is very important. Mass inflict light wounds, that's terrible. Slay living, spell resistance, true seeing. Slay living is not a bad thing. Maybe buffs. I don't want a huge amount of buffs, we're already buffing a bit too much for my taste. So maybe slay living. We can turn it to flame strike when we face undead. Hammer of the God, that's a nice spell. That doesn't affect your own guys. Divine Power, amazing spell. You gain the following bonuses: 1 extra hit point per level of caster, plus 6 to your strength, and base attack bonus improves to that of a fighter of the same level. Short duration. I think there might be a way to get it as a 3rd level character, which would allow you... I don't think you can make it permanent, like a 24-hour duration, even if you do that though. I'm pretty sure the game would not allow you to get away with that because that's ridiculous. I can't say if it does so, not with absolute certainty. I'm trying to take buffs, but not something that you cast at the start of when you enter area. What are the things that you might throw in a fight? Milk's acid arrow. Good spells on the first level. There aren't that many. Actually, there's quite a few. I'm not that familiar with pre-spells at the moment, so please excuse me if I'm taking some time to just look things through a little bit. I'm guessing I'm going with pretty unremarkable choices here. I know there are a handful of spells that I can rely on. We can switch and alter things as we play along.
I'm ready if you need me.
Wait. What do you
Yes.
have? You have nothing. Spear plus 2? Are you a spear user or are you just using a spear for a lack of a better weapon? We could give our weapon to her. She can't use really anything else. We certainly have a lot of other options. She does not. I don't think, she doesn't have the strength to really carry a heavy armor, but she has the ability. She's a good priest. Not a good warrior, and that's sort of waste of a priest if you don't have at least enough weight to, or carry weight to carry some proper armor. You have to be very careful what we're gonna give her.
I'll take the lead.
Yes.
This would allow her to have a shield.
Yes.
I think we have a heavy shield plus 1 somewhere. Right. 3 up of wisdom.
Yes.
We should give her some extra spells. Empowered Hammer of the Gods. Destruction. She needs an armor. I mean, she really needs an armor. It can't weigh
I'm
too
ready
much.
if you need me.
Elven chain, maybe medium. It's fine armor. Weight reduction. But it would be better for Eleni. Ceremonial armor weighs quite a lot, but
I'm overloaded.
Yes.
this just means that she cannot possibly really carry anything extra, and her appearance doesn't change with it. This isn't amazing, but it's still good. Yeah, I can sort of at least believe now that she might survive in some kind of a fighting situation. Problem
I'm
is
ready
now
if you
that
need
I
me.
don't have any real equipment. I can use a spear, I suppose. Doesn't matter. We weren't using a shield in the first place, so a two-handed weapon is just fine. It's more of what we want to do with the weapon. Captain's Spear. Strength enchant +3, stone skin 1 use per day, damage divine. Not sure I want that. Wither stick. At the moment it looks like the best option. We have to have some kind of a weapon, so... Pointy stick it is. So, crossroad key. How about a spear is this? Looks just fine. I don't feel any need to try to alter its appearance. Some kind of more defensive focused weapon might do us good too. Maybe even 2. I mean, if you don't care about the offensive. Why not double your benefits?
Time to finish this.
Certainly has seen better days. Front fortifications entirely ruined. Grey Cloak Guards. He has no armor and has his Paul's axe. Yeah. Worthless.
It's seen better days, and will again. This keep was destroyed during the war with the King of Shadows. It was a dark time for Neverwinter, but we persevered, as you have this day.
Looks like Crossroad Keep is being rebuilt.
I have brought you back here under orders, for Lord Nasher has a new task for you, and perhaps our guest can see what it is you'll be fighting for in the coming days. These people you see around you, they are now yours to command as you see fit. You are their captain in Neverwinter's service. Make this keep ready for war. Gather troops to your banner, and be prepared to strike when this enemy reveals itself. To help you manage the keep, Lord Nasher has assigned you an officer, Kana, and Master Vidal has been contracted to help you rebuild the keep and the surrounding area. You are the master of this keep now. You have earned it through service and blood. And you have earned my trust, and that of Lord Nasher.
Certainly
This
not.
is your land. Defend it, for the sake of your people and the sake of Neverwinter.
Look, even now shadows fall upon this plain, yet still its beauty persists. It is not surprising to me that our enemies wish to mar this place with their blades and their war.
Ah. You've promised to tell me of the enemy we face.
Know this. The first glimpses of this conflict you have seen are not the first. They are but glimpses of things that travel well into the past and the present. It is all part of a greater war. A war almost as great as the one that split my people on the Sword of Gith long ago. And the tragedy is tied to such a blade. These shadows you see, there is a lord who dwells in darkness with them. And he has fought on this plane before against those who have embraced Gith's hatred, the Githyanki. This lord and the Githyanki, it is difficult to know the true hatred between them. He attacked them long ago, attempted to cast his shadows upon their fortresses in the plains beyond. The fighting was terrible, fierce, and it was only through the deaths of thousands of Githyanki that this king of shadows was driven back. But no matter how many countless thousands of their people they lost, they were only capable of severing the portal through which he could attack them. And so, the Githyanki were denied a victory and forestalled their war for a time. But know that the Githyanki do not forget their enemies. And though the King of Shadows had been driven back, still they sought a way to reach him, to kill him. And as terrible as knowing the followers of Gith hunt for you, even more dangerous is this lord, this King of Shadows.
And how can you help?
Know that I will aid you if I can, but it may already be too late. The King of Shadows was not always tied to darkness, and that is part of the tragedy. His will was once devoted to an ancient empire, to the protection of its people. He was once the light of Ilfarn, empowered with the strength to protect them from their enemies, and he was bound to the natural magics of the plane, the weave. But as much as a ritual created the guardian that was to be Shadow, there is a ritual that will unmake him. It is a ritual of purification, designed to allow him peace when his days of sacrifice are done and the Empire needs him no longer. If the ritual does exist, it lies within the ruined Ilfarn city of Arvan. It is there you must go to purify yourself and gain the strength for the battle ahead. I have marked the location upon your map.
If that is what it takes, then that is what I must do.
Know that this path is a dangerous one. Even the people of Ilfarn, as powerful as they were unable to defeat the King of Shadows. But know that this ritual of purification and the blade of our enemies are the only chance of success in this.
Why not just let him rot there?
He can already make his presence felt beyond his chains. The advantage is his. If you cannot strike at an enemy, know your battle is already lost. You doubt me, and that is because you do not know me. You need allies, Kalakcha, not more enemies and doubt to divide you. For in dividing the mind, you divide the battlefield and you cut your strength in half. I am a Zerth, and I swear upon the circle of Zerthamon that what I speak to you I know to be true. And know that your life is as precious to me as it is for the followers of Gith to end it. And this king, know that he threatens us all. This title of Kalakcha, do you know it? You wear that title because the name knows you, even if you do not know it yourself. But let me speak my thought plainly, without circles of meaning. They call you the Shard Bearer, this Kalakcha, because you carry a piece of Gith's blade within you, near the heart, and you have always borne it close to you. It was once said that Gith's blade, once drawn, would never find a scabbard again. And now it is sheathed within you. It sings, and they can hear it as I hear it, whispering all the hate of Gith and the war she sought to bring to the plains. A war that would have ended us all if Zerthamon had not met her blade with his at the pronouncement of two skies.
Why am I so important to you?
The Githyanki and my people are tied in a way by such a weapon. And now that weapon is you. Know that you are the only one who can reforge Gith's blade and use it once more in a battle. A battle that will free your lands and people from an evil even greater than the evil the Illithid sought to bring upon my people. There is no other. And if the title of Kalak-Cha displeases you, then know that you must make another title, and perhaps your name shall be the battle cry by which this ancient enemy, this king of shadows, will be defeated.
I love the camera work. I'm not quite sure why it's in the middle of a rock. I mean, did they test it? Was it like that? What's causing it? But terrible. It's also very blatant when you have enlarged someone. Their camera is looking at their stomach instead of their faces. Not exactly a good cinematic system. It works if everything is a certain way, but in any kind of alteration to that, and it just goes to shit immediately. Doesn't really bother me too much, but it's it's more of a symptom that there's a lot of polish missing. Constant little things where you can see where there's room for improvement. So, you will travel with me.
I make this pronouncement to you, greater than the bond of two deaths as one, with a strength that echoes the pronouncement of two skies. I make the pronouncement of three in darkness, two in light. As the two of us shall meet this king in his fortress, it shall become a battle of three. And when it is over, the two of us shall walk in the light, and you will taste true freedom, just as Gith and Zerthamon did when they broke the will of the Illithid at Sagrasa's end. It is my life I am giving you, Kalak-Cha, and I ask that you let me share your path with you.
Thank you, Jave, and I welcome your help.
Then we shall speak no more of it, now that my vow is spoken. Now we must travel to the ruins of the culture of Ilfarn, and there undergo the rituals you will need to arm your spirit against the King of Shadows.
Where are these ruins?
I have marked the location of the city on your map. There we shall find what we seek and complete the ritual of purification.
Amazing. Chat session apparently this time.
Time to finish this.
This Crossroads Keep thing, it's not a minor thing, it's a massive thing. You can sunk a lot of money into the upgrades and services, upgrade your troops, train more troops, get them to go to missions, have some specialty missions for them, things like that. And how you do that also affects in the end when inevitably the war breaks out, how well they perform, what their level is, what type of weapons they have, what type of armor they have, that sort of thing. So it does have an actual gameplay effect. In many ways we probably don't really want to invest in those, because there's one truth in everything here, is that if you are confident in your own characters or team's ability to carry things through, you don't need any additional soldiers to help. That's the bottom line. If you are a god of murder, you don't need anyone else. You can get through everything on your own. So you don't have to upgrade a bit. However, I have a couple of reasons why I probably do. First of all, I'm doing a let's play. So, and it's a big part of it, the system, so it would be sort of weird to ignore it entirely. Two, money is there to spend it. I mean, it's not gonna do us any good. We have a million, 10 million gold. It's not doing any good unless we can translate into some kind of gameplay magic. So we might as well spend it then. Getting some kind of basic good equipment for our team is much higher priority, but I think even on top of that we certainly can afford to do a lot of upgrades. You can sink hundreds of thousands into this keep easily, so it's not a minor thing. Realistically speaking, I don't think the advantages gained from the most expensive upgrades really are worth it, but again, if you have the money, might as well see it through. Sal. Oh, it's you, Captain, right? It's Sal. Sal from the Sunken Flagon? Well, formerly of the Flagon. I've been wiping tables for your uncle for years, with always the promise of starting my own inn, but it always seemed to be just words, until you came along. Once I heard that what you were doing here, I packed my bags, wrote a note, and here I am. You said you wanted to run an inn. What? You thought I wanted to wash plates and tankers the rest of my life? I've always wanted to start my own inn. This keep's got everything going for it. It's right on the high road. It'll get plenty of merchant caravans, and it's got, well, you too. I figure I can turn this into a respectable inn, clean with entertainment, oh, and good food. I mentioned I'm a cook, right? I look forward to working with you. You're the boss. Well, the real boss is Lord Nasher, and his agent already approved everything. You will get plenty out of this. I'll bring customers, provide a place for the merchants to drink, eat, and spend a little money. Look, trust me, you need an inn, and that means an innkeeper. Me, and drinks will always be in the house, Captain. How's business? We've got business, not a lot, but there are people dropping by. Things could be better. I've been talking with this master bard who's willing to send an apprentice to perform here. But he wants the place to be livelier. Someone to dance to the music, he says. So, if you spot anyone that would want to work here, grab them. Yeah, this is all part of the keep thing. There's a lot of people here that have a little thing that they could really use help with. The effect might not be massive. More people at the inn, some kind of improvement somewhere. So we want to basically invite everyone we can to be a part of the project and help them succeed, because it also benefits us. Kana.
Officer Kana, reporting for duty, Captain. Lord Nasher has given you a great honor. But rebuilding these grounds will be a considerable undertaking.
And one I look forward to. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Captain. I am Master Vidal. I won't lie to you. This keep is in a sad state of repair. We will need all the resources you can bring to bear to fix her up. With the help of my crew, we can turn this place into a true masterpiece of engineering.
Master Vidal is excellent at his craft and capable of what he claims, if somewhat eccentric.
I went ahead and inspected the grounds. There is much work that needs to be done. The courtyard itself is in a shambles, but that can be fixed quickly. Strong backs and long hours and you'll see the shape of the keep. And, well, what's underneath won't be pretty, but before long we'll have the keep cleared out for you. We're embarking on a true adventure. Men, set the camp over there. I'll draw up plans for the work.
There are preparations I must make. Come speak to me within the keep when you would like an update, Captain.
Might as well start with the upgrades. I think we have some money in a separate bank account we can buy upgrades with, but it won't be enough for all, not by a long shot. I think it might get you through if you're only interested in doing the minimum. We have the keep itself, the fortifications, outlying lands, and the courtyard that we can buy upgrades to. We've cleared the grounds, as you can see. There is much work to do. Work requires a certain amount of coin. My men need to be fed, after all, and the amount of material, it will not be cheap. There is good news, though. Cernabal formally commissioned me to work on the project, and Lord Nasher will fund part of it, but the other part is up to you. I will need gold to rebuild, but Nasher's coin will cover expenses. For a time. I live for my work, you see, but others don't. How much money did Lord Nasher give me? I do not know the exact figure, but not enough. People just don't appreciate how much good masonry costs. This missive details how much gold Neverwinter has allocated for Crossroad Keep. You can use those funds or your own to work on several things. The keep, the courtyard, the fortifications, and surrounding lands. How does the courtyard look? The courtyard itself doesn't need anything, but there are several buildings that will have to be built from scratch. You don't have to worry about rebuilding all of it. Some accommodations will be built by people that come to live here. The inn, for example, is already operational naturally, but there are some buildings that could become shops, and those will need work. What about the inside of the keep? The keep has been laid bare to the elements for decades. Many of the rooms are structurally unsound, don't you know? I have closed off many rooms until my men can work on it. Rubble will have to be cleared and stonework repaired in there, but it can be done. Fortifications, extensive work, and it's also the most time-consuming to work on. Outer walls wouldn't hold out a kobold with a table knife right now. And the fortifications are what Lord Nasher cares most about. But when my men are working on that, we can't work on any other projects until we're done. Anything wrong with the surrounding land? Nothing is wrong with it, it could just be so much more right. Crossroad Keep is top of a large hill and the trail could be widened, maybe even converted to cobblestone. And the roads nearby have no local lord to maintain them. Those could be improved, as well as the bridge, and, well, a great deal of can be done. Mostly that will help with trade, and that in turn will help with you, funding the rest of the project that the men and I would like to undertake. Rebuilding roads is simple, but very labor intensive. When the men are working on that, they can't be doing anything else. Okay. I don't give a shit about the fortifications for a couple of reasons. First and foremost is that we're going to have to build at them part of the because the storyline anyway. So at the moment they don't do anything for us. What we want is services and well, extra locations. Rebuild something. Keep itself. 15,000 per room. Personal suite. Library. West Wing. Well, I know an item we can get from this if we complete, I think, the West Wing and the personal suite, and that's what I want first. I think it's a bag of holding. Basically, a container and everything you put in there has 0 weight. That's what I want. It's a good place to start anyway. Library would probably give us access to Master Albinon's help. And some other books that could be useful. Maybe even spell scrolls. Yeah, let's start the West Wing. Keep funds remaining 70,000. So we don't have to spend our own cash quite yet. What I want is, I need to start upgrading our soldiers' equipment very quickly. Currently they're worthless. They don't have proper weapons or armor, so anything we send them out to do, they'll probably fail at it. So training. Training is probably what we want them to do at the moment.
It is an honor to serve, Captain. You have been rewarded greatly with this stronghold. Long have I waited for my blade to be in the service of someone worthy. My waiting is over.
Honor is as much mine to have you and the others work with me.
You are too modest. We are the ship, and you are the wind that moves us. There is much yet that needs to be done. Rebuilding the keep itself, Master Vidal can handle. But training the Grey Cloaks to defend its battlements is very important. Training a few men can be done quickly with the right teachers. But Sir Naval has promised 100 men for you shortly. And if the keep grows, so will your retinue and your command. So, we must start with the basics and turn these farmers and shepherds into fighting men.
Besides training, what needs to be done?
There are a few families of farmers that will want protection from the local keep, as they had in years past. This section of the high road has also been plagued with bandits since Crossroad Keep fell to the King of Shadows long ago. We have been given the right to tithe merchant trains that come through, but until the road is made safe, any tithe collectors will find the road empty. Merchants prefer safer, longer roads, especially if they make more profit. But all of this relies on training your Grey Cloaks into capable soldiers.
Anything else?
I will carry out your orders when you are away. Once the men are trained, there are more things they can do. As our numbers swell here, I could use more able sergeants to oversee the men. I can train and assign tasks to sergeants if you find some for me. The decisions you make here may have a large impact on the cloaks and the people on your land. After some time, I'm certain Lord Nasher will have direct orders for your men. But until then, they are yours to command.
What? Uncas. Who are you? This is a nice place you got here. It looks like it still has some holes in the wall, but nice all the same. I'm Uncas. I know you're busy, so I'll be blunt with you. I've come here with a business proposition for you. I'd like to have some of my dealings here. I don't answer questions, and if you are the inquisitor type, I'll just pack my gear and bid you good day. In exchange, I can find buyers for anything you want to sell, anything at all. Just consider me a no-nonsense merchant. We good? Basically, a criminal element. I don't care too much about the law. Can you be discreet? I wouldn't be here if I didn't think I could keep out of trouble. As long as I'm not the village idiot, I expect you to keep your dogs off me. I don't know. I don't think he really offers anything to us. At the same time, we're good. Then we're in business. For the use of the premises and your cooperation, what I'll give you is a good price. That's not much of a deal. I'll buy anything you get, and sometimes I trade in information. I'll pass along some free of charge. I'm looking forward to working with you. Yeah, definitely thief-oriented. Shadow Thief leather armor. Blood Litter, 100,000. Bastard Sword, +4. Wounding, Vampiric Reach. Tana of the Mummy Lord. 1.2 million. Like, that can't be right. I'm seeing things. Yeah, 230,000 maybe. Yeah, that's about right. Ooh. Katana, +5 enchantment on hit, poison, dexterity damage. Only usable by undead. If you have enough used magic items, you can overcome that, but it does mean you have to overcome that, otherwise you can't use it at all. Unless we're gonna get some kind of undead companion? I don't think so. No, I don't. I think it's there to force you to make it tougher for you to use. It's a good sword. Yeah, he doesn't actually have anything particularly interesting. If you're a thief, I suppose you might value some of this crap. I'm trying saving these scrolls for sand. I might not be able to use them, but that's fine. This is really a good price he's offering. Sure it is. $12,000. Leaves them. Yeah, maximum is 15,000. 350,000 gold. Yeah, this is why gold doesn't really matter. You can have just such an incredible amount of loot that you can just sell. Anywho. Doesn't look like we're gonna get much done this time, so maybe we can, well, more or less get the basics started. Locked rooms. We want to complete at least certain parts of keep immediately. I want the bag of holding. That's the most important thing. Crossroad keep key. I think we want to get this started. There's a limited amount of things we can do here now. Ooh, construct. May ask Robnar about it. Okay.
One thing. I had a favor, really. I keep hearing about this tome of Ilkazar. And if I recall correctly, it has a few fascinating chapters on golem craft.
So?
Well, if we were to get a hold of it, we might be able to use it to help upgrade the construct. I mean, he's walking around and healthy as golems go. But I only know so much about golems. There may be something I missed that could help him that would be in the tome.
Sounds good. If we can restore him completely, he'll be an asset.
That's what I say. So glad you agreed. I was worried this was one of those times when I had a bad idea.
Questions, questions.
Of course. Ask away. Always ready with answers. Yes, indeed.
I think I have some pieces for the construct.
Oh, really? Let me see. Oh my, yes, this should help nicely. Let me see what I can do with this, and what I have here. There we go. Needs a little more, I think, but it's well on its way.
Reactivating the construct. Grobnar thinks that construct could be reactivated if the runes on its outer surface were redrawn. He believes that he can do this given the proper materials. So far you have found an old tome entitled The Ancient Art of Golem Craft. The diagrams contained within should prove helpful in properly restoring the missing runes. Before Grobnar can begin the work on the construct, you will still need to find a glowing liquid to serve as ink and a sample of the original runes. Well, I can think where we might be able to get the ink. The glowstone cave. The runes, on the other hand, maybe the library would be good enough. Either way. Don't think we're gonna head out towards the ruins quite yet, where the statues of fortifications are. I think we're going to try to get this place started at least a little bit. Try to get the... I think we need a weaponsmith and an armorsmith. Maybe get a sergeant here out of somewhere. Old Arwell should have the one woman who helped Casimir. We want miners. We've encountered two groups of miners already. One is in Old Arwell, one is in Port Last. Anything else? We might be able to get someone out of West Harbor here too. Maybe a dancer from Moonstone Mask. I don't know. The thing is, some of these things are tied to the progression of the main plotline. So we can't get everything now, or every kind of a sergeant, or every kind of whatever. Guyven of the Road. I've seen much on the road during my time, but apparently so have you. You found old Guyven many a time. I think it'll be good to rest my heels here, record my thoughts, make a few maps and enjoy life a while. But only for a while. The road calls, old Guyven. Yes, it does. It's good to have you at the keep. I don't much care for the keep, I must say, but I don't much care for any walled place. Guyven's got his reasons for coming here. Before these old bones see their final rest, my secret's got to be passed on to someone who's walked as many roads as me. So if you explore, old Guyven will share a thing or two, pass on the wisdom of the road. Can you teach me your secrets? Throughout this wide land you might find sights you've never imagined. Sometimes you'll find some nook or cranny. Take a gander and explore it like old Guyven. Then we can share some notes. Tell me about your maps. 2 tasks are left to Guyven. Make a map of the lands I wandered, and find myself a worthy successor. Maps I've been working on are of Neverwinter and her wood, of the Mare, and as far north as Luskan. Don't know how much help it will be for one such as you, but Guyven wants to leave a legacy. Tell me more about you. Many folk would like to. Seen all manner of things on the road. Crazy things, terrible things. But Guyven isn't one for telling tales. Guyven listens and remembers, though. A whole lot of secrets in this head of mine. Only secret Guyven will share is the ones on his map. Yep. I think we have the opportunity now to visit strange places. And then we can do exchange stories with Guyven. I'm not sure what we'll gain from that. However, I think I'll end things here and focus on getting things up and running somehow. We want to visit the caverns where the glowstone was, so I think Grobnar needs to be there, maybe Eleni, so we can talk to the spider that was there. Do we need anything else? And there was the vendor's nave and gnomes in Port Last, so Grobnar would be useful there too. Do we have Quora with us? I'm not looking for any kind of adventuring or fights, but maybe having them in the group would trigger some encounters, especially with Quora, because of the grudge someone holds against her. Yeah. Cool. Could I get the bag of holding? That's important. Rebuild. No, that's not important right now because we're not doing adventuring, so we're not getting extra loot. We will do that once we are ready to leave the ruins. What we want now is the smithy. 1000. More importantly, we want the actual smithy. Because as long as the building isn't constructed, I don't think we can get anyone to move in there. We certainly encountered enough armor and weaponsmiths, so getting those should not be troublesome. I want to see if this is enough to get the building restored. Do we need to go somewhere else? Yeah, I think it's restored now. Good. Might as well do the same with the other structure on the courtyard. Merchant shop. Yeah, we can probably at least Lord Deacon there. Not sure who else. So I'm not quite sure what we would really gain from a lot of these. But again, we have the cash. As we adventure, we're probably getting more expensive equipment. We can at least get 10 to 15,000 per item piece. And there's no way we'll have use for everything, so we're going to constantly get more money. But now we should have the basic structures here, and I think we'll leave things there. We'll go to the outside road. Yeah, we have no one there, but at least the facilities are ready. And we're not specifically looking any one thing. What we want is basically anything or anyone that might be able to aid us. Surrounding areas. Have the men work to make the trails across Road Creek wider and easier for merchant wagons to travel. I mean, if we can get some them to pay for some of the costs here, it's better. There's at least 2 things you could upgrade here, but I think we need to move forward with the plot before that's possible. There's some kind of a temple. I think that's for monks. You want the best monk gear, you want that. Alternatively, there's a wizard's tower or something similar. But again, too early for that. It's just not a possibility. I think we can get some miners to come somewhere here. They're important because the armor and weaponsmiths can't work without any materials. Will cost gold, but you also need enough metals to upgrade the equipment. So it all works together. Java probably is worthless to us at the moment. We need Ellen. We need Grabner and Quara. But we don't really need him. I need to give out these scrolls. Scrolls to Sand, see what he can learn, but the rest can be thrown away.
I concur.
Now do what you want with the rest.
Oh, yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Listening, really.
As well level up for him. It's not a good idea to leave these guys without some good skills. Vasculating. Mordecai sword. Shadow Shield, that's a good spell. Illusion. Natural armor class bonus, damage reduction, immunity to instant death effects and all necromancy spells. Long duration too. And it's something I can never learn, so... What else? Finger of Death is always useful. Undeath to Death. Ah. Not sure I want to make any equipment changes. Certainly could. Up there.
I concur.
Yes.
And we're ready to go.